welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right. You know what? It's right here. I am Mike Letta, aka Hammonton Mike, along with my partner Brian, the Ranger Attard, bringing you another solid special that you just keep on coming. Today we got a couple things in the news before we get started today. One, I will announce we will have a new video coming out in January, at the end of January, called Kicking to the Revenge. Yes, I'm going to try it again in the dead of winter. I am practicing now. I promise I will be a lot better. If you've watched the video before, I will be a lot better. That was a travesty. I'm sorry to all my fans. You had a big kick out of it. You know what? This is for real this time.
And just keep in mind, if you want to see that video, it is exclusive to our Facebook fans. So make sure you're finding the Sports Box on Facebook. Like us there, and the video is going to be there for your viewing pleasure. I had a lot of fun taking the video. Mike, not so much. When
yeah, well, that was good.
Unfortunately,
kick me when I'm down. That's very nice. I get a little shot.
You know.
The other news is I got to give a shout out to my partner over here. I got an email today or a text message today from MSG Network. He is in a running for the Ranger Room where we filmed the Sports Box before. So, let's wish him luck. See if he gets in there. We'll get the MSG Network and we'll get him on the Sports Box.
I'm not sure what exactly they're going to do with the information, but again, I was picked as this, I guess, having a contest of man caves. Apparently I'm in there, so hopefully it'll be good. I'm pretty happy with, obviously, the way it came out. Hopefully you guys like it as well.
I'm not excited that it's the Rangers Room, but that's okay.
I hear that a lot.
Congratulations. Hey, how about those Flyers 7 in a row? But that's a whole different story.
A whole different show.
A whole different show. Not for now. Today we're going to do Winners of the Week, though. We're going to do the NFL today. Roll through the schedule pretty quick for you. Well, I say pretty quick, and we're 20 minutes in. That's good. We give you evaluations what we do. The first game we're going to go to the Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Last week I said Buffalo Bills going out to Oakland. I liked Buffalo to win the game. They needed the game to win. Boy, was I mistaken. Talk about a team who went in the tank, up 24-9. And I know it was the Oakland Raiders, but they fell apart. And you know what? I don't want to say they've mailed it in, but they've semi-quit on this team right now. Pittsburgh, absolutely rolling right now. Giants had opportunities last week, didn't get it done. Pittsburgh had their way with the Giants, won that game. I still like the Steelers on the road, even going to Buffalo.
Yeah, I think the interesting part of this game to me is Ben Roethlisberger at home is not the same Ben Roethlisberger as he is on the road. And you look at his statistics, even just this year, and then they're much poorer. In road conditions, they're going to Buffalo where the Bills have not really, there's talk of they're going to give Tyrod Taylor the rest of the year. I think that probably makes some sense. I'm not as enthused about the Steelers' offense this week as I normally am, but I do think they find a way to win. I'll take the Steelers in the game. I don't feel that great about it, but something just tells me the Bills don't have a whole lot to play for. So I think Pittsburgh wins this game. Defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos take a visit to Music City to take on the Tennessee Titans. It's an interesting game. The Titans, coming off a bye week last week, surprised a lot of teams this year. Marcus Mariota has to take a real nice step in his second year, relying a lot on Delaney Walker as his primary pass catcher, and Rashard Matthews come back from the dead after being cut by Miami, ends up in Tennessee. I still think Denver finds a way to win this game. I think the Denver defense is one of the more elite units in the league, no question. The Broncos are in a dogfight in that AFC West with Oakland, Kansas City, and of course, who played last night. So I'm going to take the Broncos to win the game. I just don't think Tennessee is really quite there yet. I think the Broncos are in a fight to make the playoffs to defend their crown. Give me Denver in this game.
Although I think Tennessee is there. I think they're a solid team and nobody gives them a lot of credit. I am on Brian's side as well. I think Denver gets the job done. They're on the road. Seaman is playing in this game. Or should I say Seaman?
Trevor Siemian.
There we go, Siemian. Seaman is a whole different episode that we will not go into. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, get the FCC.
Sports Box After Dark.
Did you say Sports Box? Anyway, Trevor Siemian will play in this game, and like Brian said, the defense I just think is going to be too much for the Tennessee Titans to handle. DeMarco Murray, having a great year. You talk about Mariota improving from last year, very good player. I just think Denver can get it done. I don't think it's a blowout by any means. I just think Denver gets it done. Well, now here we go into the Philly market again. Washington plays Washington on the road into Philadelphia Eagles. Unfortunately, Philadelphia has given me no reason right now to pick them, considering I picked them the last 2 weeks and they've let me down. Here comes a Washington team who's, believe it or not that bad. Offensively, a lot of weapons. Defensively, not bad on the other side of the ball. The Eagles, where do you go with the Eagles? Every week it seems like another problem props up. Carson Wentz, I heard today, is averaging 38 passes a game. And here's a guy who was going to be put on ice in the beginning of the year, and you have him throwing 38 times a game. Last week, 60 passes. It doesn't bode well. I think Washington wins a close one here.
The Redskins obviously need the game to keep pace with the Giants, try to get into the playoffs. And, the Eagles put up such an offer last week in Cincinnati. I mean, we both thought that game was going to be kind of an iffy game to begin with.
Without A.J. Green and without Bernard.
Yeah, I mean, they got blitzed early. They were down quite a bit early. You're going to find out, I think, a lot about how the Eagles think of their head coach, Doug Peterson, this week. Because if they come out flat again... I mean, I know it's his first year. I get it, but I mean, can you really lose a team in week 14 of your first season?
He's going to be on the hot seat.
I'm going to take the Redskins to win this game. I think the Redskins are the better team. The Redskins are a little more of a complete team. Curious to see if Jordan Reed, I know he's questionable, big part of the Redskins' offense. But the Eagles just can't seem to stop anybody. They can't catch anything downfield. They're not running very well. They're not really doing anything, frankly, very well. It's going to be interesting to see where they go in the offseason. Their season's pretty much honestly over at this point, which. We really didn't think that was going to be that much of a year this year. Redskins need the game. I'll take another road team. Give me the Redskins. The disappointing Arizona Cardinals will visit the surprising Miami Dolphins. It's an interesting game because, the Dolphins have surprised a lot of people this year. They've won more games than I personally thought they were going to win. They're in the bit of a playoff hunt right now in the AFC. It's an Arizona team coming east for a 1 o'clock game that never bodes well for the team coming in. Arizona's offense seems to fly right through David Johnson, and that aerial attack, which I think everybody thought was going to do very, very well this year coming off of last season, has not materialized at all. I think the Dolphins win this game, and if you asked me about this 6 weeks ago, I probably would have said something different, but Miami's running the ball exceptionally well. Again, I don't love Ryan Tannehill, but I think he finds a way to win this game. Give me Miami in the game. I think that the 1 o'clock start's just not good for Arizona.
I think the quarterback situation, Carson Palmer.
See what you do.
Well, it's our laps the musical crew over there. I think Carson Palmer. I think Father Time has caught up to him a little bit. We knew it was going to happen. We didn't think it was going to happen this quick. He's hit a wall. The offense is driven by David Johnson, who's having a phenomenal year, but just the offense is so inconsistent right now. Defensively, Arizona's a good team, but you've seen in the past you need to move the ball down the field. And Miami, unfortunately, last week got blitzed by Baltimore, but you know what? That doesn't change my opinion. I think Miami is a good defensive team. I think they do get back on track this week. I think Jai runs the ball a little bit on Arizona, and I'm taking the Dolphins as well. The Vikings and the Jaguars, and I know last week everybody laughed at me for taking the Jaguars over the Denver Broncos, but you know what? Jacksonville was in that game for a while and blew themselves up in that game. But in this game, with Minnesota going down to Jacksonville, it's an interesting concept because Minnesota's offense is struggling mightily. I mean, I know last week they played, okay and things to that effect. They've been doing what they can on defense and keeping themselves in game, but unfortunately, I'm not picking the Jaguars again. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not picking the Jaguars again. Even though they are home, they do play better at home. And believe it or not, I do think Jacksonville has a shot to win this game. But unfortunately, I'm going to go with the better team, defensive team. I'm going to take the Vikings.
Minnesota's really fallen off since coming 5-0. They're 6-6 right now. That's a bad stretch of 7 games. They did, I think, play the Cowboys last week tougher than anybody thought that they would. They are catching a Jacksonville team here that isn't very good. A lot of question marks everywhere. Minnesota really, really needs this win to keep pace. They're tied with Green Bay right now with 6 wins. The Skins have 6 wins, but they have the tie. They're 6-5-1. So if Minnesota has any intention of trying to make the playoffs this year, this is an absolute must-win game. You cannot go into Jacksonville with Jacksonville's record at 2-10 and lose if you intend to try to make the playoffs this year. I know that the Eagle fans are rooting for a Jacksonville win, obviously for the draft pick in the trade. But give me the Vikings in this game. Not that I'm overly enthused with the Vikings, but it is Jacksonville. So from that standpoint, I'm
sorry, Princeton.
How many times have we said so? That's amazing.
We love Princeton.
AFC South battle. The Houston Texans go on the road where they're not good at the Indianapolis Colts. It's Jekyll and Hyde a lot for the Texans, other than Brock Osweiler, who sucks every game. The Colts just put the beat down on the Jets last week. I mean, that was ugly from the get-go. The Colts are trying to get back into a more solid playoff positioning. As of right now, Houston's got that division lead at 6-6. They're tied with the Colts. It's a game that the Colts really need to win. It's a game that Texans really need to win too. Unfortunately, it is a road game. The Colts offense has been playing much better in recent weeks. Unfortunately, you had that game against Pittsburgh where Luck didn't play on Thanksgiving. That is what it is. But I think the Colts get a win here. I don't like Houston on the road at all. I barely like them at home. So give me the Colts to win this game and get themselves back into first in the AFC.
We need our Spawn guy back from Texas who I asked the temperature and told me it was Arizona. So we need that guy.
It's hot out there. It's actually cold in New Jersey for anybody who cares. I am freezing and I'm never cold.
It's pretty freaking cold here. I too am taking the Colts. I think the Colts are revved up a little bit. T.Y. Hilton back on track. You got Moncrief out there. You got Allen who blew up last week with Andrew Luck. I think Andrew Luck looks really comfortable in there. And here's a Texas team that obviously lost J.J. Watt in the beginning of the year, but seemed to bounce back a little bit. But like Brian said, I think they're a better home team than they are on the road. I'm taking the Colts to win this game. Chargers at Carolina. Another team going west to east, but unfortunately I am picking the San Diego Superchargers in this game because I think Carolina's mailed this in because they looked absolutely dreadful. And I know they went to Seattle, and Seattle is a tough place to play. But for a team that just went to the Super Bowl last year, they got absolutely pasted in Seattle last week. That just shows me their defense stinks. Plus, McClain got let go today or yesterday by Carolina. That's another starter that's gotten released by this Carolina team. This Carolina team is a shell of what they were last year. And Rivers actually found himself a little bit. He's throwing the ball a little bit better, getting the ball out to Tyree Williams a little bit more. Gordon seems to have found his groove. I'm taking the Chargers.
The interesting thing about the Panthers, and I think we said this in our preview way back when it was a lot warmer than it is today.
Cam's a baby?
No, it's just I felt that the loss of Josh Norman was going to really be loud for this team, and I said that because it makes their run defense that much better if you have a really locked down corner on the team's number one, and you can see that this year with Carolina. They can't stop anybody defensively. They're running okay, but Cam's not as effective as he was, and the irony is he has more weapons with Kelvin Benjamin back this year. I don't like taking West Coast teams at 1 o'clock games, but the Chargers are the better team here, and you can't really say that often. The Panthers, the wheels are falling off that bus big time.
They seem to have gotten away from Olsen, too, for some reason.
I don't really know what is going on in Carolina. Ron Rivera is a guy I respect a lot as a head coach. I think he's an excellent head coach. This team just doesn't have it this year. I like San Diego in the game. I don't really think that there's not a lot of implications in this game, but I think San Diego wins.
I like that they suspended Cam Newton for one play too. Boy, you really told him. You really told him, didn't you?
Oh boy, that caused some angst.
Ron Rivera, that was a good move, Slick. Nice job. You really set me straight too.
God, in the battle of terrible Ohio teams, the Cincinnati Bengals visit the Cleveland Browns.
Wow. Snow in the forecast, by the way.
That should be good for the Browns offense, right?
Yeah.
So here's a game nobody outside of Ohio cares about.
Is that our boy Nate?
Yeah, Nate, listen, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game just because I don't want to take the
Browns. You're taking the Bengals.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. If Mike Henshaw was here, he'd be taking the Browns.
Well, sure. I mean, because that's worked so far this year, taking the Browns in any game.
Exactly.
Yeah, Cleveland, this is going to be one of those lost seasons, and thankfully for them, they'll be rewarded with #1 overall pick. That they will also find a way to screw up, because that's what Cleveland does. The Bengals don't have a whole lot to play for. They are missing, obviously, a lot of offensive weapons, but they do play for pride. I think Marvin Lewis is trying to salvage his job, and he just might, because the guy just never seems to find his way out of the job. I'll take the Bengals to win the game primarily because of their opponent. Weather will be interesting.
Yep. It's funny, you'd have taken the Browns all year, you wouldn't have covered twice, by the way. All year they haven't covered. But anyway, I too, it's a shock that I'm taking the Bengals as well. These teams both have had struggling years, especially the Browns, but the Bengals more or less go from bad to worse because they lost A.J. Green and Bernard. They beat the hapless Eagles last week, but in this case...
Hapless, I like that.
You like that?
I like when you drop big words.
Yeah, that's not often. And I spell them too. Spell them correctly too. That's great. But the Bengals beat the hapless Eagles last week. But they're a better team than the Browns. Browns are struggling from all ends. RG3 is playing this week. I don't care. They could trade Aaron Rodgers to that team. It doesn't matter. The Browns are the Browns. Boy, they're kicking themselves now for not getting a quarterback. But anyway, I'm taking the Bengals in that game as well. Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. Now again, another game that's riveting. The Bears back and forth, and actually played a little bit better with Barkley, believe it or not. probably because they've run the ball. Howard's touched the ball 53 times in 2 games. But I am taking the Chicago Bears here, even though they are going on the road against Detroit. Detroit's defense has played good, but if you look at the last couple weeks they've played, New Orleans, Jacksonville, they haven't really played a lot of teams with running attacks, so their defense is kind of a facade. No big word.
You're just trying.
I'm just throwing them out there. Yeah, I'm hoping something sticks today. A facade that I think that Detroit's defense isn't as good as it is, but in the same sense, I think Chicago can run the ball a little bit. You know, throwing the ball is not a big deal. They're gonna run the ball a lot in this game. I think Chicago wins the game.
I like Jordan Howard a lot. I do not think that the 3-9 Bears are going to beat the 8-4 Detroit Lions. I'm not really a big guy in the Lions this year, but Matthew Stafford showed me something. I had some concerns about him this year as far as what are you going to do without Calvin Johnson? Again, they're 8-4. They're a half game out of a bye right now. As shocking as it is to say that, they don't run the ball exceptionally well, and that's true. But it's an offense that does get the ball in the field and does score points, and Chicago's just an absolute mess. I can't find myself picking Chicago. I didn't pick them last week, and I probably should have against the 49ers. If I can't pick you to beat the 49ers, I'm not picking to beat the Lions.
Kevin Crutchy right here, baby, I believe.
I'll take those Detroit Lions to get a very important win for them. In a game that CBS wishes they could flex to about midnight because nobody cares.
I want to see who the announcers are for this game, because how do you sell me this game? How do you sell this game?
So if you're advertising for the NFL, if you bought NFL advertising, I would try to really negotiate this one, because no one's going to watch this game. Where the New York Jets and Bryce Petty visit the
Kaepernick.
Is Kaepernick playing?
Kaepernick's
playing. Okay, visit the San Francisco 49ers. So whoever wins this game is doing themselves a disservice, because these teams need high draft picks badly. The Jets were completely embarrassed on national television last week in a home game against the Colts. The 49ers were completely embarrassed in a road game against the Chicago Bears. So both of these teams, frankly, are not very good. If you put the two teams together, it's still probably not a very good roster. If you ask me to pick a team to win this game, I'm going to pick the 49ers for the sole reason that they're playing in San Francisco. The Jets' offense, led by Bryce Petty, is not one that I have a lot of confidence in. I think Brandon Marshall's wasting away in New York right now. Don't be surprised if he tries to find his way to a different team in the offseason. The 49ers are an absolute garbage fire. It looks like a dumpster that was just lit up with fireworks, and everything's wonderful. It's bad. Give me the Niners to win the game just because they're playing the Jets, but this is not one of those games you're going to want to record and show your kids how to play professional football. Not a good example.
Do I have to pick this game?
I mean, I picked the game.
Can I pick a tie?
You could.
Because this game's going to be freaking brutal. And if you're a diehard Jets fan and you paid money to go out to San Francisco and watch this game, God bless you.
But the weather's good.
I'll be right there for a week vacation, because this game's going to be a tragedy, is what it's going to be. I unfortunately am going to take the Jets, because I just think San Francisco is that bad. You got Kaepernick.
The Jets are that bad?
Yeah, those Jets. Oh, well, they're both bad. The Jets are Yeah, that's true. They got smashed last week to the Jets. You got Kaepernick and you got Blaine Gabbert. They both are terrible. Offensively, they're terrible. Maybe they have Carlos Hyde. Maybe they get a few yards. I really don't want to pick this game, but I have a buddy who lives in town who's a Jets fan. I'm taking him. I'm taking the Jets because they're both awful. But anyway, Saints and the Buccaneers. Wow. Saints and the Buccaneers falls in my lap.
So do you have a rooting interest in this game?
No, not really. Yes, I do, folks. Yes, I do. That's right, baby. They're back. I guess you can see who I'm going to take. I am taking the Buccaneers in this game. I think the defense has played well in the last 3 weeks. They've beaten some big teams. Talk about Kansas City on the road, talk about Seattle at home, and you talk about the San Diego Superchargers. The Bucs could lose this game, because I could see in the Bucs in the past winning 3 big games and being, come home to that feel-good attitude, smelling themselves and losing. But it's the New Orleans Saints. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think they both get into a battle. Saints bad defensively. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop the Bucs. Hopefully, Doug Martin is going to do well with Jaguars Rodgers and Chris Sims back. Charles Sims.
You're thinking of Phil's son.
That's right, the quarterback who sucked for the Bucs. Sorry about that. Charles Sims. So, in all, I think the Bucs are going to win this game, even though I'm a Buccaneers fan. I'm trying to lay it out there for I think it's a high-scoring game. I think the Bucs win.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently in a playoff spot. They're currently holding on to that 6th seed by the skin of their teeth, but they are actually tied with the Atlanta Falcons for the NFC South lead. This is going to be, I think, a pretty interesting game from the standpoint of both of these teams don't really defend overly well. It's really because they don't defend overly well. You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
Oh, something wrong? I'm sorry. I got a little over the top.
Did you need a minute?
I got a little over the top.
The game is in Tampa. The Saints are not the same team out of the dome as they are inside of the dome. I'm going to take Tampa to win this game. It is going to be a shootout. It is going to be a high-scoring game because both of these teams can't defend for anything. But I do like what I've seen from Jameis Winston. I do like what I've seen from the Tampa Bay offense. I don't have like anything I've seen from their defense as of late, but that may not matter in this game because it might just be last possession who wins the game. I expect both teams to get into the 30s. That's just the way it's going to go down. Probably starting with your fantasy teams. But I'll take the Bucs to win a game that they really, really need. If they want to stay ahead of the Redskins, stay ahead of the Vikings, even maybe contend for a division crown, this is one of those games where it's a home game, it's division, you got to get those wins. I'll take Tampa Bay to win as well. That's not a homer pick for my friend here. That's just actually what I think is going to happen. The aforementioned Atlanta Falcons will fly across the country to visit the Los Angeles Rams and Jared Goff. This is a game, as I mentioned, the Falcons desperately need, and the Rams really don't because the Rams have nothing to play for other than Jeff Fisher's new contract. What in the blue hell are they thinking in Los Angeles?
Unbelievable.
And I understand that I've read that it's not like guaranteed that he can find his way out of a job.
I don't care.
I don't understand what you're doing.
He's got to have pictures. He's got to have pictures of something going on there. The guy hasn't got... I'm sorry.
I think the Falcons win the game, and I don't think the Falcons are an overly good road team, frankly. But the Rams are an overly good team, period. So I'm going to take the Falcons to win the game. I don't think their defense cost them in this game. I think that the Rams are just seeing what they have in Jared Goff, which, again, he's probably going to be their quarterback of the future. He really has to be for what you gave up for him. But Atlanta's going to want to keep pace with the Bucs team. I think is going to win as well. I take Atlanta to win the game.
Atlanta a little rough on the road. Julio Jones, turf toe. He's going to play, though. Sanu probably out. Matty Ice not a problem. I think this guy's having a great year. I think they're better than the Rams, even though Todd Gurley, trying to get on track. It's a shame. This guy, top 5 back, and just can't get on track out there. Defense is good. They've leveled off a little bit. The Rams, I think the Falcons can get it done. Even on the road, even going out west, I'm taking the Falcons. The Seattle Seahawks head to Lambeau, where one-time playoff quarterback for Seattle, Matt Hasselbeck, at a coin flip said, "We want the ball because we're going to score."
You're reading my mind right now. It's crazy.
Unbelievable how that game turned out. But anyway, they're nowhere near this game. I think Seattle's going to take this game down because they can throw the ball. I think Doug Baldwin gets back on track where they've been trying to get him involved in the offense again. This defense for Green Bay is just wretched right now. They're barely going to have enough guys to put on the defense. They're hurt so bad. Although Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, their running attack with James Starks, I mean, come on. Seriously, with James Starks, who scares you with that? They do have weapons on offense, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, a lot of different guys. But I just think Seattle comes down with a lot of firepower, and that defense is going to be interesting without Earl Thomas back there, but I still think they can get the job done. I'm taking Seattle.
So this is a game that's going to be on every TV except for the Galetta household this weekend.
No, it might be. Only because I don't have the package. Okay. I'm cheap. I can't.
These games between Seattle and Green Bay are games that I love to watch every year because these two teams play in some of the most entertaining football that you're ever going to see, with games that have all kinds of ridiculousness, whether it's the replacement referees, or it's overtime playoff games, or it's we want the ball, we're going to score. I mean, these are things. Mm-hmm. These are phenomenal football games. I'm going to differ from you on this one, though. I'm going to take Green Bay to win this game. I like what I'm seeing from Green Bay's offense a lot, and I agree with you. Their defense has some issues. However, so does Seattle playing anywhere other than the state of Washington. They went into Tampa Bay and put up 5 points. That's not a very good defense, so I don't think necessarily that the Packers' defense is necessarily a liability in this game. Aaron Rodgers is just a one-man wrecking crew. He's going to find whoever's going to be open. What he did against the Eagles a couple weeks ago was those really quick 5-6 yard passes and then just get paper cuts, to get there. Green Bay really needs the game, and I think Green Bay is going to try to find their way into the playoffs, and they need this game if they intend to. Give me Green Bay to win.
And this did not fall this way, but you're taking the next game.
So the Dallas Cowboys, who you may have heard, are the first team to clinch a playoff spot. They're going to visit the only team that beat them this year, the New York Giants. Mm-hmm. Great game. These games are always going to be. See that?
Didn't work.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not fun.
You can make the case that Dallas probably should have won the first game. Thank you, Terrence Williams. But this is going to be a game, again, the Giants are coming off a loss in Pittsburgh where they were mostly non-competitive most of the game, so they're going to come back with a little bit of pride. Dallas still wants to get that 1 seed. They haven't locked it up just yet. They're not resting players just yet. The Giants still have some issues running the ball. It's improved a little bit. I think Dallas wants to get revenge for that loss, frankly. I think Dallas wins the game, and no, it's not a homer pick. I just think Dallas wins the game. I think Dallas has some issues, but we'll cross them to get to the playoffs. The Giants were so uncompetitive last week that I just don't have a lot of confidence thinking they're going to do well against a better team than Dallas. We'll see what Dak Prescott does. I think Elliott can run all over him like he has everybody. Give me Dallas win the game.
That's a pretty good analogy. Can you think Terrence Williams could stay home for this game just so he doesn't do it again? What? No.
I mean...
Yeah, that could happen again. You never know. But I, too, am taking the Cowboys in this game. I think the Giants have played well, had opportunities last week. Why in God's name 3 times were you inside the 30-yard line and you don't kick a field goal in that game against Pittsburgh? Who are you trying to beat? What's it, a playoff game? I mean, come on. You got McAdoo proved to me that it's a weird coaching style that he's doing right now. And I think Cowboys stay on a roll, even though they're on the road. It's a revenge game for them. I think Cowboys win this game. And our last game, our Monday night thriller, is going to be the Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. You know, all year we've been saying about Tom Brady and his mission and things like that. Now he's missing Gronk and, you know, a couple other things going on, and he's going to have Martellus Bennett and stuff like that. I don't care. I'm still taking the Patriots, folks. Yes, I am. Tom Brady's going to get the job done. He's home. He likes being home. It's a Monday night spotlight. I think the Ravens do slow him down a little bit on defense. I think Flacco can have a decent game up there, but in all actuality, who really wins a lot in New England? Not a lot of people. I'm taking the Patriots.
Here's a game that doesn't need much analysis. New England's playing at home. New England wins the game. Thank you and good night.
Wow, that was good. Okay.
I don't need to. What else do you need?
What?
What else do you need about that?
No, I could put on Bucks helmet again.
You could.
Yeah, I could. Thanks for watching the Sports Box. We appreciate it. That's all the time we have. We want to tell you again that our show was sponsored by DJ Cruz, a.k.a. Anthony Cruz. Call him for all your DJ needs at 609-513-6395. Did you like that?
Absolutely.
That's pretty smooth.
Of course, absolutely. And of course, if you want to look for more videos that we're posting, including Mike's failed attempt at a 45-yard field goal, he did make it from 30 though. Make sure that you see us on our Facebook page. That's the Sports Box Show. That's exclusive to our Facebook viewers there, so make sure you're looking at us there. Of course, tweet us at Sports Box Show. You can send us email at thesportsboxshow@gmail.com, and of course the YouTube channel where the subscribers keep coming. We love you. We thank you so much for your support, but we could definitely use about 900 more. So feel free to subscribe and make sure that all of our videos that you want to see so much are delivered to you as soon as they're ready to go.
And make sure you get updates when Brian starts breaking my balls a little more on this show, so that's always great to hear.
In case you haven't heard, Mike missed a kick. But watch it on the video.
It's just to keep on smiling. Anyway, thank you for watching the Sports Box. That the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching. See you.
Don't forget to subscribe.